Welcome to our next podcast with OV, myself and Jamie. We're here with Jamie's friend as well as work colleague in the past. If you'd like to introduce a bit more, Jamie, first.
So this is Lena. I think it'd be best to pass it over to her to introduce herself.
Me!
So, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Lena?
My name's Lena. I'm from Norway. I am a creative practitioner. Music, visual art, whatever comes to mind.
I think
I like it.
First, I think we want to touch on your music. So this is our first guest, by the way. So,
What an honour.
might not be our first guest.
We'll see how
Depending
this
on
goes
how
out.
we edit the podcast.
Yeah.
This is our first official guest, but she might not be the first official guest
Thank you for having me.
on the actual podcast. We want to know a bit about your music. So we've known each other for, well, not that long actually. So we met, long story short, we met in Leeds through Lena's partner, who was running Rockwood House Sessions, which is a music agency, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say
And then through that, Lena wanted to do a bit of video editing, a bit of video shooting, and got passed on to me. So I'm trying to teach you a little bit.
God.
So, but I don't actually know that much about you,
No,
or your music, or
who does?
your creativeness. So, how would you describe your own music?
That's a good question, isn't it? I should know.
What genre? Should we
See-
start with the genre?
Everyone asks that when I go to a venue or a gig, and I'm like, please hire me. They're like, but what do you do? And I'm like,
Everything.
you tell me. It's a genre that it's like I've been described as future soul, alt, jazz
I like
with
that.
a bit
Pretty
of
cool way to be described.
Yeah,
I'd
it is,
say.
international
Yeah.
rhythms.
Where would
This
those
and that.
international rhythms come from? Bit of everywhere.
Bit of everywhere. I love percussion, and I love African beats, Cuban beats, and I'm also from Norway, and we have quite a bit of tribally stuff going on. And
Vikings.
Vikings.
Tribally, I like that.
Indeed. Yeah.
Some
I
Viking
think that's
beats.
definitely in there. Bit of that.
Nice.
Yeah. More of that is coming.
Okay. Very interesting. If you want to listen to Lena, by the way, where can we find you?
She doesn't exist.
No
that's
Mysterious.
not
one's
true.
here. No one's here.
It's not
Instagram?
true, but Instagram,
Yeah.
YouTube. For the time being, just that, unfortunately. But we do gig quite a bit, so that'll be the next place to find me, I think.
Cool. So I think we should talk a little bit about how you became you. Why you are
This
now.
bundle of joy.
So you're from Norway and you moved to England.
Yeah.
So tell us how. Let's go from childhood to now. How did you get brought up?
Whoa.
Where did you get brought up? Not.
Whoa.
Okay.
Big deep
So-
questions.
Please tell me everything.
Let's talk about why you think you are the way you are now,
Mm.
and why you think you're creative, and has Norway helped
Yeah.
that process?
Yeah. I think because I grew up on the countryside, first of all, so I didn't have a lot of external influences. I was a lot on my own. It's a lot of isolation, and I think with isolation comes a lot of boredom and a lot of creativity. And I've always been that. I've always my mum always told me I was really like my imagination was just super. Can I swear?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Super fucking.
Fuck shit.
Do the fuck you want,
Yeah,
man.
no. Yeah, I've always been a bit what's the word?
Hyper.
Not hyper, just very imaginative. I
Yeah.
used to do a lot of drawing, a lot of singing to myself. Started learning a lot of stuff on my own, like watching YouTube. Like I didn't have a lot of people around me to be like, this is cool, this is what you should do. I just started liking things, started playing things, expressing myself. As much as this little Norwegian who really wanted to escape.
Did you have any
express themselves.
musical sort of inspirations in Norway? Like, do your parents play music? Do your friends? Did you just sort of go, I fancy, like, where did that start? Where did the music career start?
My mum forced me to play piano when I was about 4.
Wow.
I hated it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hated it. I wanted to play drums,
Yeah.
and I remember.
It's very Norwegian.
Yeah, well, very popular. My mum didn't love it. I used to take out all the pots and pans in my kitchen cupboard and sit on the floor and whack them.
Whack 'em.
And my mum was like, what is this satanic thing that you're doing?
It's art, Mum.
It's art.
It's not
I
a
love it.
phase.
It's not a phase. Have you seen Gilmore Girls?
I have indeed, yeah.
Yeah, you know, what's her face, Lenny?
Yeah.
So she'd hide CDs in her like wooden floor thing because her mum was really Christian and
That's a speaker doing something.
her mum was super Christian and like didn't allow her to like listen to a lot of shit. My mum was like that, so I grew up in a Christian family, and they're all very into their like country music and choir music.
And anti-drums is what I'm
and
hearing.
Anti-drums.
Were you the like? Sorry, I was gonna say, were you the black sheep of the family then that kind of went off?
100%.
Did your own thing?
The rebel.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I used to love rock music, and my mum wouldn't really allow it unless it was Christian.
Christian rock. There's
so,
some vibes in Christian rock though. There's
Yeah,
some
I
good
did
tunes.
find some.
Yeah.
I did find some, but mostly I'd hide my CDs and listen to them on my Walkman.
So it's a bit of a rebellion then.
100%.
What CDs were you hiding?
A lot of Guns N' Roses.
Classic rock.
Classic rock.
Nice.
Pink Floyd.
Oh, man.
Led Zeppelin. Aerosmith. Def Leppard.
Perfect.
That kind of stuff.
So how do we go from rock to where you are now?
Alt jazz.
It's interesting. I don't know. I am a sponge for music, and I just wanted to learn as much as possible. And I think as soon as I found Nina Simone, I kind of expanded
You were just like,
a
wow,
bit. I was like,
I like
wow,
this.
I really love this. It's because it was such a mixture of like where I what I listened to is not what I was singing. I was very much into like a bit of folk, bit of like Norwegian vibey stuff, and then I'd enter blues.
Nice.
And I loved that. And Nina Simone had like bluesy jazz thing going on. And it was kind of the first introduction I had to something like that felt really vast and like just lyrically important. So it kind of developed from there, I think. And then I found Leeds, which was
Leeds.
fucking weird,
What
right?
a journey.
You don't want to go from Nina Simone to Leeds.
So from the countryside in Norway, listening to Christian rock,
Yeah.
and I moved to Leeds.
Oh, I didn't listen to the Christian rock too much, just when I had to.
So why Leeds? Why not Sheffield
Manchester.
or Bristol or
I know.
Manchester or London? Why Leeds?
I went to, so after, what's it called? When you're 18, when you're 19. you go
College?
to, like, yeah, it's called college, right? So after college, I went to this like 1 year music thing called Trøndertun, which is basically what the Norwegians call a gap year.
Gap
Oh,
year.
okay.
But this one is filled with music, and
Okay.
I get to like do whatever, and then
We're
meet
getting
other
somewhere now.
people. And that's where Leeds College of Music
Mm.
came for auditions as well as LIPA. And I auditioned, and I was actually like, don't know if I want to do this. I think I'm just gonna go be a physiotherapist. And then I got in, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll see what Leeds is about. Because I remember having like a teacher, and I think he like popped into my head, because he was my English teacher when I was like 14, and he said, whenever you have a chance to move somewhere, do it. And it really hit me, and I moved so much.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so I said,
I think
yes.
it broadens your horizons, doesn't it? It broadens your
It
friend group, it broadens your creativity, you're meeting loads of new people in the creative world as well.
Yeah.
Is there any of those people that you've moved to Leeds with sort of expanded the way you think about music and creativity
From Norway.
from Leeds? So you've moved to Leeds. Have you been inspired by anyone, or do you think just being in that environment by itself has just heightened the way you think about music?
It's very inspiring. Like, Leeds in itself is a very, like, culturally vibrant place. Like, you wouldn't really think that Leeds is that when you look at it. You're like, this is a really gross metal box with
Yeah.
just smells a bit like piss and cheap
Yeah,
beer.
yeah.
But that's the charm. And then you go to like good venues and you see like how much people love the arts, and the music scene is just so vibrant because of the students. You know, they change out every year, and everyone who comes there is there because they want to be something. And I was really inspired. There was nothing to not be inspired by. But I think the first band to really hit me was Project Hilts. They're not a project anymore, but Hilts is rapping along in London. But when I saw them and their mixture of Cuban rhythms and rap and like big orchestration and soul, I was just like, whoa.
Just hit you.
Can't believe this exists. How can I do that but in my own way? And it just kind of came naturally from there, I think. It took a long time. Lockdown had to hit.
Yeah.
A few depressions had to come. But after that, we found ourselves a bit.
Were you in Leeds for lockdown?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was lockdown?
Disgusting.
Yeah, of course. yeah.
Did it stifle your creativity? Did it stop you thinking about music? Were you just, I'm done? Like a lot of it, like for me, it was horrendous.
Yeah, very numbing.
I was just like, my job is to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot go out and be creative, so I'm just gonna sit and drink tea and eat biscuits and
Sounds about right.
binge Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got really good at cooking.
Yeah.
Banana bread.
Yeah, did you take it? Yeah, everyone did banana bread.
That frothy coffee as well.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Banging.
So did you take up anything else whilst you were in lockdown?
Well, I do a lot of painting, so I did quite a bit of that. But and also just sculpture stuff. Started doing clay things. But what really changed in lockdown was my love for production. I really got into that, and I found the Ableton Push, and just before lockdown hit, and it's like, I don't know if you know it, but it's just this big square of musical equipment that's basically like a software god.
Okay.
And you can
What is it
do
like?
any
Is it a
electronic-
studio?
No, so it's like a launch pad.
Okay. So it's a piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I saw that in uni right before lockdown hit.
Yeah.
And I had this like course with this girl called LNA, and her speciality was, her name is actually Lena, and she's from Finland. I know.
All the Lenas are from
crazy.
Norway.
Yeah.
She's amazing, but she taught me a bit of Ableton Push, and then I spent all my money and got one.
Yeah.
And then I used that in lockdown for a while, and got really into field recording and recording sounds.
So it kind of helped you then a little bit.
Lockdown, no.
No.
It was good for a while.
I like how you say no, by the way.
Yeah.
No. No, just wait until I get angry, mate. No. Let me tell you. But yeah, no, lockdown was fucking hard. And then it was also in my second year of uni. So I basically had 1 year in Leeds.
Yeah.
Full of existential crises and having like, I'm in a new country, don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Of course.
Trying to know what to do musically as well.
Yeah.
Having a lot of imposter syndrome. And then lockdown comes and you still have to do your uni work.
Yeah.
And you're expected to be this person that goes around doing gigs, but it was impossible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then lockdown was over, and I feel like that's when I started thriving.
I feel like people appreciated the arts way more post lockdown as well. I think
Yeah.
in the
It was
long
booming.
run, it's probably helped
Oh, 100%.
because music venues just went off.
Yeah.
Like especially in Sheffield, I didn't live in Leeds then, but like in Sheffield, music venues were just crazy. Every band was sold out.
Yeah.
Everyone was getting gigs. Everyone wanted live music. It was like
It was crazy.
some big celebration
Yeah.
almost.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Best
feel
year of my life when
Yeah.
that started happening.
so. How did it? What happened after COVID? So you were just gigging, being creative, hanging with people,
Yes.
writing albums.
Yeah, so I basically have like a body of work that's a whole fucking huge album at this point, but it's not produced yet, and that's a big
Exciting.
heartbreak of mine. But it will
It's
come
gonna come out one
soon.
day.
Yeah. There's new music now though, so it's it's all changing. But
How would you
some of
describe
them-
this mysterious album that we can't hear?
I think it's a journey from when I came to Leeds until now, and it went through a lot of I don't know, it's about nature and environmentalism, and it's about feminism and about being a woman, mostly I'd say. It's about queer love and heartbreak, and I don't know, my way of finding myself within this huge, creative, stupid industry that's driven to crush you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think it's quite tricky as a musician to, well, one, make it your career, and two, to stay creative and sort of not sell your soul to become successful. Would that be fair in saying? So I feel like if you're being creative, you almost, if you get picked up by somebody eventually, they're going to try and change you. You're going to have to do something different that's not you. So how do you sort of balance that? How do you balance wanting to become successful, wanting to monetize what you do, and sort of staying true to yourself?
Well, I chose jazz.
Which is very hard to get into.
It's a difficult spot to be commercial. Most people don't want you to be. And I think it's, I don't know, it's not fully jazz. I do have that aspect of wanting to be broader and more commercial in a way, and most people will ask me to do that kind of stuff as well. I think what I did is I had a bit of a break. So I spent a year after lockdown super fucking hustling. Like, I went out of lockdown thinking I either do this now or I don't do it at all.
Yeah.
And I decided to put all my eggs in the basket. I met beautiful people that I'm so fucking grateful to have met. I happened to live in a house with amazing musicians in lockdown, and I had to I just reverted backwards a bit, but
that's fine.
It's
okay.
It all comes together. My exam that year in lockdown was to submit a just like a body of work, like a portfolio.
Yeah. And
I made this live set, put a bunch of my favourite musicians in my living room because we couldn't go anywhere else. Got a mate to film it. It all happened in like the span of a week. Yeah. Because I left everything last minute. I'm an ADD wreck. and I was like, please guys, I've got these 7 songs. Can you like learn them and play them for me and then get nothing in return? And they were like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. Yeah. And then they all met in my living room that Saturday, and we started at like 9 a.m. in the morning. We was done at 4 p.m. and we had a full live session of all the tunes that I'd written. And it was fucking sick.
Yeah,
I loved it.
It
was a beautiful day. And that's when I felt like I needed to do more again. Yeah. Like really sparked something for me. And everyone was like, Lena, we have to do this thing. Is this going to end here? And I was like, no, let me just write some more.
Lena's live sessions.
And then we just started doing that shit. And then the gigs just fucking came, and I really started to push, like asking promoters. Got to know DJ Luby, the Leeds promoter that like hosts all the soul and jazz.
So on that note, how important do you think networking is to a music career?
How important
is networking? So talking to people, meeting people, like the most important. Would you put talent over networking, or would you put networking over talent?
I mean, it's a hand-in-hand kind of situation. There's only so much shite you can be until people don't want to work with you. Yeah. But I think
DJ Khaled.
I think it comes down to being a person that people like being around. Yeah. And also really knowing what your vision is. Yeah. And talking to absolutely everyone. I used to go to, as soon as lockdown stopped, I would be at every gig and I would talk to everyone. Yeah. and it really helped. It really made gigs happen for me and festivals, and you kind of have to just like, even if you don't believe in yourself at all, just like pretend like you do until someone else
fake
does.
It till you make it.
100%.
I think we talked about it last week, didn't we? We were talking about networking and how it's helped me. It's crazy. Just being confident and chatting to people, word of mouth.
Just having a chat to people can go miles with
just
people, you never know.
Just being ballsy and just being like, hey, can I come and shoot with you and learn some video? Yep, of course you can.
They'll either hate you or they'll hire you.
Yeah,
exactly. I like that. Hate you or hire you. So just like Jamie mentioned there, how did you go from, and I'm kind of jumping ship a bit, how do you go from being a musician and wanting to learn everything with regards to music to video editing with the likes of Jamie and things?
I think we had a chat the other day and it was more everything. I think the words you said, you wanted to learn everything there is to learn creatively.
I've always had that trap in my brain. It's a very, very, very it's a huge pitfall of...
Pitfall?
I'd say so, because I
Wanting
spread
to do
myself
loads of things?
thin. But I also am extremely, what's the word? Indecisive.
Yeah.
And narrowing things down is hard for me because I'm so curious about it all.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I get that.
I want
But would you rather...
everything.
What's that question? Would you rather be good at...
Jack of all trades and master of none.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Would you rather know little about everything there is to know, or would you rather be very good at one thing?
I don't think I could be very good at one thing.
You get
I'm
bored?
too curious, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to learn as much as possible.
Yeah.
Surely that shows a good creative mind, though. If you just want to go all over the place all the time, you dip your toes here. I really like this. I'll try this as well with this. Sure, that's what produces a good musician. Would you not say?
I think so. I like the idea of having a lot of different mediums to express like my perspective through, like lots of different glasses. You know, I think it's fun.
Yeah. So, from music, we've been talking about teaching you how to do video and things like that. What would be like your dream job? So if you obviously me and Jordan are sort of setting up a media agency, right? Which is an umbrella term for everything. So music, video, photos, digital design, graphics, website, everything like that.
You can think of,
If we were to say to you now, we will pay you whatever you want and give you whatever you want to do, what would you want to do from it? What would you take? Would you want to do a bit of everything?
This is the stupidest, biggest question you've ever asked. And I'm not okay. I just told you I'm an indecisive fuck.
She's got a point, she did.
No, I'd do a bit of everything, but I think until I realised which field I prefer. Up until this point, I think I've gathered a lot of little bits, especially in like the creative direction routes and the visual routes and brand and design, Photoshop and yada yada yada. I'd want to do videography. I think be behind the camera and.
I feel like you'd be quite artsy, quite different behind the camera.
Yeah.
To what I would be, for example.
I think we have two different minds, but they work well together.
I agree. I like that you brought the mic closer. I hope that picked up.
Yeah.
Whisper. So, I believe you've got a question for us, Lena.
Oh my god, let me tell you, I've been experiencing British lunch snacks for the first time. It's pretty crazy. This is like one of my isolation activities now. It's like inspiring
Eating
stuff,
British
right?
snacks.
Yeah. So my friend Hannah, she showed me the penguins a week ago. Do you know the digestive biscuits? Insane. And ever since I've tried little bits, and I need you to tell me your favourite British snack so I can go and try it.
Oh, that's a solid question, that.
So actually, where we're going climbing later, got something called sesame snaps.
Oh, banging, to be fair.
So good. So good.
Sounds pretty vegan of you.
Sesame snaps. They might have like.
It is, yeah. I like that one.
Very vegan. I bet you do.
I'm probably not going to say a vegan answer though now.
So, I mean.
Common lunchbox as a 9-year-old.
Cheese strings.
Yeah, you're 100% cheese strings. Baby bells.
Pot pies. Oh, you're veggie.
What's a pot? pie.
Baby bells, yeah.
Just meat
Bells
inside
are good.
pastry.
Pot
It's
pie.
disgusting.
Yeah,
Scotch
yeah.
eggs,
Wouldn't
Scotch
want that.
eggs,
Like just like crisp sandwiches.
crisp sandwiches,
Have
chip
you?
butters.
You must have actually done Henderson's Relish.
Oh,
What's that?
this should be a present to all our guests.
Henderson's Relish.
If you
is a
haven't
good
had
shout.
Henderson's relish,
I'm looking at mine like it's the hand.
You can't see my British lunch snack
you
idea.
have to have Henderson's relish.
I'm trying to think of like.
Before you leave Sheffield today, you have to have Henderson's relish.
I am ready. Please.
I'd say the best, like, it's maybe not a snack, you could have it as a meal, but
You
like
could drink
cheese
it.
on toast with Henderson's.
Yep,
That is
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal.
yep, absolutely.
So
That
is it
will-
like a dressing?
It's in everything.
Whatever
in
you want.
everything.
You can use like butter, fix your car with it. Anything.
Brush your teeth.
Yeah, holy
Fair.
water, everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's- I love Hendos.
That's a good question, though.
That is a solid question. I'm sure not. Cheese
I
on
really
toast
liked
with.
the what's
beans,
it called? The
baked beans.
dunkers, the cheese.
Dairy Dunkers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, solid,
good.
crispy stuff. The cheese was a bit mediocre,
Yeah.
but I liked the crispy.
I'm trying to
stuff.
think what's British and not worldwide.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good, like prawn cocktail crisps.
I was
And
gonna
stuff.
say olives, but like.
Olives.
yeah.
What's your favourite British snack?
Yeah, olives.
You've not asked her your
Oh,
phone question, Jay.
I've got.
You got one.
I've got a
Go on then.
bizarre question.
Right.
So this question came from when I was going for a job interview, and I went for the job interview, and at the end this guy asked me the question, and I completely off from the topic from like general interview questions, and I really liked it, so I ask everyone now that I meet. And when I was doing interviews for Christmas temps, I always asked it because
Right.
it's just interesting to see how the person's brain works. So, Lena, if you could be a fruit, what fruit would you be and why?
Be a kiwi.
Why?
Because it's not what you expect. It's a happy accident. But most people, not most, some are a bit allergic. But I kind of like kiwis, and the people I like kiwis. So.
I mean, the key question there is: do you eat it with the skin on or off?
Off, mate!
It's so weird.
Are you kidding? No, you
I'm
chop
an
it
on-
in
you want on
half,
or
you
off?
scoop it
Off,
with a
mate.
spoon.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
effort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
with
so
the
much, so
spoon.
much goodness
In the skin.
in the skin.
Is it not like the orange skin? It's just to
No.
protect the fruit.
Yeah, but
Jamie,
you eat it though, because it's full of goodness.
you're disgusting.
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 Try it,
I like the answer to the kiwi though. I've never heard that before. No one's used kiwi.
because some people are
It's a
allergic to it.
good one,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. It is good that.
Some people are allergic to it, but they still have it.
Yeah, yeah. Irresistible. Dangerous. So as well, you talk about like where's your childhood, like being isolated and everything like that, and when you come to Leeds, you're surrounded by like great, amazing musicians. As you say, you lived in a house full of them in lockdown. As well as them, who were the artists or what people have you collaborated with that's influenced your way of working or the style that you work in now?
I think without it sounding super fucking cliche and stupid, that anyone in a room where creativity is happening is a part of like influencing me. Like I think we all exchange something all the time, and I don't think I have like one particular person that's influenced anything more than another. It's all like a mixture of just great people doing what they love doing.
Of course, yeah.
I think we had last year one of my favourite collaborators, I'd say, was Phoenicia. Is a rapper in Leeds. They're amazing.
Nice.
They're amazing. Yeah, was very, very influenced by them.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know what else to say. There's lots to say, but that's it for now.
So would you say there's anything that's inspired you other than music, such as literature, such as nature,
Yeah,
such
bro.
as dogs,
Dogs
any-
inspire
literally
me all the time.
anything?
Let me tell you, I had a dog last week. She was with me for a whole week. For a whole fucking week. This like little puppy. And let me tell you
You wrote a
how
song about it.
much. I was so inspired. I was like, how can she be so in love with the world? Like, I must know what's going on in her brain. And I swear, I was on walks with her and I was like trying to put my mind into her like shoes. And just see the world in through her eyes. And
I
it was
think you should write a
fantastic.
song about what it would be like to be a dog.
That'd be a good
Yeah.
perspective, that.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd love
I
squirrels.
think that'd work.
I love squirrels.
You could be called
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like Bjork.
Shut it.
Wow.
Oh, that was bad.
That was good. You
I
both
didn't like
laughed.
that. Yeah, I laughed out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something that I wanted to discuss today, because me and Lena went for a coffee. We went for beer.
Oh, but that was such a good question. Are you
the
moving
other week.
on?
Oh, sorry. Did you want to answer it more? go more in depth. Sorry, I thought we were done with the dogs. I thought it was just dogs. that
No,
inspired
it's not
you.
just dogs, mate. Dogs are just the tip of the iceberg. I don't know. I love all sorts of art, and I go through periods of just like purposeful isolation where I'll read a load and I'll paint a lot and I'll fill the creative well. I don't know if you know this term, but
I do not.
it's from a book actually, Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and she's got this thing called the Artist's Well, and it basically is about how a lot of artists have writing blocks or creative blocks, and it usually comes from a place of having a dry well, meaning there's not a lot of things to take from creatively, and it can have to do with experiences, the lack of experiences, and just not consuming the right things. And so I'll have like periods where I'll really focus on consuming the right things, which could be anything as long as I'm interested. And I'm in one right now. So yesterday I spent half a day just diving into knowing about fungi.
Nice, I like that.
And then
All about the
I
mushrooms.
actually, you know what? I saw your post on Instagram saying, "Is there any foragers in Leeds?"
there's so many, man.
Did
but
you learn
it's
much?
things like that. I did, and I think it's a really beautiful thing the mushrooms have got going on in the woods.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I love a good mushroom.
Maybe we should take some mushrooms next time.
I'm all about foraging. Jesus, yeah, we'll go
Let's
foraging
go.
for some mushrooms.
Would love that. But yeah, things like that. And I'll listen to a new album almost every day,
Yeah,
Do you find yourself in nature much then?
all the time
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
can. Yeah.
it's from Norway, bro.
It's
Aye,
that is the most challenging thing of coming here.
Yeah,
To
because
be
Leeds is a
honest.
bit of a concrete jungle.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
You said today when driving into Sheffield, like, there's so much greenery around. We was in
Yeah.
the city centre.
Yeah.
I'm jealous
real.
as fuck, dude.
You got the coach into the city centre, and said how green it was.
No, I'm happy to live in Headingley now.
Yeah, it's a bit
It's much
nicer.
greener. Yeah.
And you're near to a park. I
Sorry?
mean, here you're near to like 25, but I said you're close to a park in Leeds,
Yeah.
which
I'm
is
pretty
nice.
close to the ridge, which
Yeah.
is lovely. I'm much closer to nature parts now than I have been,
Yeah.
which is a blessing.
Nice.
Okay, I think we should move on from music and creativity and talk about a controversial subject.
Oh
That-
no. If you're going to come here and talk about AI, I'm not the answer.
You knew it was coming.
Bro.
So, with the beer that we went for the other day, I was basically saying to Lena that me and Jordan are going to use AI to as sort of like a
Sorry.
sidekick
No, don't apologise.
to what we do
It's there.
to support us in what we do and
Mhm.
to help us be more creative. And Lena was very against it.
Now, I don't know about that.
And if you're not watching on YouTube, I'm getting pointed at.
I have opinions. Does not mean that they're all negative or that they're true.
Okay, so let me ask you this:
Mm.
is there any positives that you can see to using AI in a creative world?
Definitely. But I think the damage is bigger than the positive. For now. Because I don't know how it's going to develop, and no one does. And it's been around for quite a long time, really. And I think it's destroying a lot of the originality that has to do with any art and the validation and what's the word? Just there's a word. See, I need to look for words sometimes. My brain doesn't work the same as yours. Just feeling as if something is real or not. Do you know what I mean? Like the fact that there's so much art that is manipulated and not created by a person. How you gonna know and differentiate what's real and what's not? That's dangerous.
It's quite a different perspective to look at it, manipulative and not creative. Like we was on Photoshop earlier, removing people from images like it was nothing. And it is manipulating it, but it's, you could argue that it is creating something at the same time.
It's creating something new.
Yeah. But it's manipulating though.
But
very
then
true,
again,
though.
that's you doing it. This is a computer that is completely just...
So I think your sort of argument for it was creating something fresh using a computer, using a robot to do it. So be it song lyrics or a poster or art itself or a photograph or anything like that. The issue lies with creating something fresh, not from someone's brain.
Yeah, because we've always asked the question of what art is, and I think this is extremely contradictory to figuring out what it really is, and I don't think it should be necessarily the fundamental drive of creativity over the next decades. That would be sad.
And you say about damage, you think it's going to do more damage or has done damage already to the art world?
I don't know enough about it to sit here and tell you exactly what it's done.
No, of course, yeah. But from your perspective, when you see like, you can see online people using AI to write song lyrics and stuff like that.
I think that's... I don't support that.
Yeah, like I've been on there to write poetry and it's like that, and it's like a 15-line poem. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
It's
and
scary.
it's good as well.
Oh yeah, very convincing.
That's the
I was reading, was it a child's book I was reading to you the other day?
This is when my respect for you got a bit...
For me?
Did you lie to Lena?
No, I said, have I not read you the child's books that I've been writing?
No, you mentioned him, but
That you've been writing.
So,
That you've been writing.
prompting.
See, this is the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I've
You
been
claimed it.
Prompted by
prompting
Jamie.
robots
Not written by.
to write for me.
Yeah. Are you going to
Written.
sell it and get rich?
Probably can't be bothered to do any of that, to be
If
honest.
there was AI to do it though.
But some
Yeah, but if
people-
AI was there to make me rich from it, then yeah.
Mm.
If I could just, get it, ask it to upload it to Amazon and do me a cover and do me the photos. I think it comes down to monetization versus morals.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, if there was something that could help you write a viral song, for example, and it was guaranteed that it was going to make you millions, you just had to sing it. Just write the lyrics, you had to sing it, and it's guaranteed to make you millions. Would you do it?
Would I want my entire reputation from then on to be based around a song that I don't even like to be popular? That's just describing most of today's
But we touched on it
hits.
earlier, didn't we? You said that you have to sort of sell your soul. Do you still think that's a thing? If you just going off AI for a little bit, do you still think big artists have to sort of stop who they are to become that big artist?
I don't think it has to do with... well, I think everyone does it all the time. I think it is a very, very, it's just the leading thing of the musical industry, but it's not because it's impossible to be yourself doing what you want to do. It's because, for a lot of reasons, but mainly because the algorithms decide what we like, we decide what we love, and we can't actually move past what's given to us a lot of the time, and the system, meaning the labels of the labels, the men in the top gear will, they know what you want at the end of the day, and if you're in a big label, they will ask you to do that thing, and if you don't, they'll fire you. And a lot of people will do what they want to do to ride the wave a bit longer, and I get that. I don't think it's entirely wrong to do that. I think at the end of the day, if I had the chance of being able to do music for the rest of my life or not, then I would probably do that.
Do music?
Yeah. If I hated it for a minute and then was still able to write music for the rest of my life because of the money I made on that one single, yeah, maybe I would do it.
You'd use it.
It's a good way to think of it.
Yeah, use it to your advantage in that sense.
Make your money and then
Do
fall
what you
back and
want.
actually be creative.
Yeah, it's all a tool at the end of the day, and if I don't have money as a tool, how am I gonna how am I going to do anything with my music anyway? Where's it going to go? How am I going to create? I need people to pay, you know. I need the money to provide.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, there's no album, and there's no tour, and there's no community.
I think that's a good answer.
Yeah, I'm quite good. That was very good. I like that.
So has there been any setbacks for you? Is there any sort of, has there been a moment in your career where you've been like, shit, this is hard, this is not what I want to do? Or any time you found music sort of challenging?
All the time.
Enough to put you off?
For a minute. I think there's been so many of those, so many different kinds of challenges that a lot of creatives face, especially musicians. One of them being imposter syndrome, another one being trying to find people that wants to produce the same music as you, believing in the music that you want to make. You know, like most of the time it's a matter of how much you believe in your vision for someone else to tag along, and that's a really hardcore place to be. It's like having that much confidence, and I didn't for a very long time. And last year, when I had a break, I decided to, for a lot of reasons, but like I mentioned earlier, that a lot of people moved, and I also made some mistakes, and I needed to rebrand and find new people. I worked really hard on doing that for a bit, and then I started hating music. I was like, just a bit bitter about it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Mm.
If I can spend so much time and cry so much about something, I must really love it, right?
Yeah. I mean,
you gotta be pretty resilient.
Yeah.
Very true.
I'll just get AI to it.
Yeah.
Simple
yeah, there's
answer.
only so much I can do.
AI to do it.
So
Yeah.
you mentioned imposter syndrome.
Mm.
Is that because you feel you're not good enough to make money from it or make a career with it?
Not anymore. I think every other day, surely I have a bit of a, what the fuck, Lena, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Just go be a physiotherapist. And sometimes I do think that I should just go back home to Norway and do that. But I don't think I'm put here to just do whatever my mum said I should do. I think I've spent a lot of energy in my life trying to do the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop now. So what was your
It comes
question?
back to being a rebellion.
Yeah, the black sheep of the family.
Rebellious.
No, not so much anymore. Now it's about why I did it in the first place. You know, it's about healing myself and the people around me, and that's why I want to do it, for the connection. And yeah, I don't know, having people come up to me after a show, and I have this song called Male Gaze, and it really plays on the fact that you know, the patriarchy and being a woman, and also like sexual assault, and I've had a lot of both men and women come up to me afterwards and like thank me for saying those things and sharing their stories, and that's the kind of stuff that like keeps me wanting to do it, you know.
Yeah.
How have you found that with just talking about that topic? How, from going from Norway, from what you described before we started the podcast, in the middle of nowhere, coming to a big city like Leeds? Is it more in your face, that kind of thing, or is it more of an unspoken topic?
Sorry, what's in your face?
Do you know, they talk about like sexual assaults and things like that, and then the song that you mentioned, is it something that you more talked about that's in England and Leeds now, or is it something that's more talked about back at home in Norway? That's my question, sorry.
Yeah, I think Leeds and the communities that's coming now, the generations that's moving now, is very, very driven to share the taboo stories and make change, and I'd like to be a part of that wave.
Perfect, yeah.
So we've talked about, you've mentioned quite a bit during this about like the patriarchy and men in music and things like that. Do you think there's still just a huge divide in the music industry?
Yeah.
Do you think men are very much at the top and women are very much an afterthought? Because you see it in the news all the time about Glastonbury headliners and Leeds headliners and things like that. They're majority men at the minute. Do you think there's still that big difference, and why do you think there is that big difference?
It's huge, this difference. I think it's changing a lot, drastically, over the past, especially since I think lockdown, actually, because everyone had to go home and think about what they're doing and why they're doing it. And there was a huge discussion around, I think it was Reading Leeds.
Yeah.
And the fact that they had probably like 3 female headliners out of fucking 45.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was pretty insane, right? It caused a huge thing, and it's important. I don't know. I think it's a constant. I don't think it will change for as long as, you know, it's not going to be perfect or balanced as long as I'm alive, I don't think.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that yourself? You know, for example, if you've gone to sign for a gig for the Friday night and there's been a male performer or a male band or whatever it may be taking the slot over yourself, is that something you've experienced yourself? Or something, not necessarily exact example, but you know what I mean?
Not exactly that.
Yeah.
But I have had a lot of, you know, it's even just coming to university.
Of course.
And trying to claim a spot for yourself as a woman who wants to do jazz is a very, like, almost controversial thing to do. It's really like you have to work for it every day.
Jazz is a very male, especially jazz is a very male-driven
You have to
genre.
think that you know something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A man comes up to you and you say that you're a jazz performer, they're like,
You have to prove it.
oh.
Here's a sax.
You're a jazz performer? Oh, right, yeah. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
And especially as a person who actually went for the pop course, but doesn't do pop. You know, people ask you all the time, they're like, oh, what course are you on? And I say, pop vocals. They're like, oh man, you must know nothing. You know, I'm not going to ask you any further. Now I know everything there is to know about you, and I've labelled you as this woman who doesn't know much. That's not a great place to be, but it's a starting point. And when you start to understand who you are and your vision, people believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it is a fight to, like, fucking claim a space every day. Right. I've got a band full of men, you know.
Is that by choice or just because it was more men musicians for options?
You don't know how long it took me to, like, I've been looking for female guitarists for a very long time. It's like, oh my god, so hard. I happen to have 2 female horns now, but this is why it's been taking so long to get a new band, because I didn't want to just pick anyone. I wanted to find people that would expand the vision of just being a person that is around any culture, any identity, spreading, like, fucking, I don't know, equality in every way possible.
And you're still looking for female band members at the minute. So if you're in the Leeds area, guys.
It doesn't even have to be Leeds.
To our
Pay for
4
it.
viewers, to Jordan's nan and my mum who's listening,
pick up a guitar.
So I actually, I've just gone on Google and got up the Reading and Leeds headliners from 2023. We got Sam Fender, we got Loyal Corner, we got Wet Leg, Killers, Central C, Nothing But Thieves, Falls, can't read that, Bicep Live,
Yep.
Lewis Capaldi, Chase Atlantis, Slow Tie, Billie Eilish, Declan McKellar, Steve Lacy, Imagine Dragons, Becky Hill,
right,
and Lil TJ with Lil J.
Lil TJ.
So, I mean, from there it's quite evident, isn't it? There's one big female act, and we've got
Wet
hundreds.
Leg. Are they not a female singer? Wet Leg?
I think so.
Yeah, but still, nonetheless, though,
I don't know.
But you're looking at
But
that, and you're
that's
looking
two.
at Billie
Doesn't make
Eilish
any
really
difference.
as a
Yeah.
headliner there. Like actual headliners, you've got Lewis Capaldi, Falls, Killers, Sam Fender, Billie Eilish, and then the under
It's not
headliners,
a lot
Low
of balance, is
Corner, Central C, Nothing But Thieves. You know,
it? Yeah.
I can see why there was a bit of uproar.
I think it has
about
to
it?
do with the people that manage these artists.
Oh yeah.
You know, they would probably most likely be a very strong white male. And
Yeah,
they'll be
well-
like, hey, hire this band, please. I know how to do it. Yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
They believe in you
Well,
right away.
I mean, looking at that as well, I think they're all Caucasian artists. It's Sam Fender, Killers, Lewis Capaldi.
Mm.
Well, they've got Little Corner, to be fair. Yeah, so I sort of agree with you on that. I think.
As if the Killers were 2023 Reading.
Yeah, why?
I didn't realise they were still a thing. I
They're
was like,
huge,
when I
mate.
saw them, I thought it was 2009
They're
again.
huge. The Killers are still pumping out some good music.
Fair, okay.
Actually.
Fair play.
Anything to add, Jay?
Sorry, no. I was just looking at the list.
I was about to say,
Sorry,
I was just zoned out then.
Yeah.
Looking at the list. I think we've covered everything that we.
I'm surprised you moved on from AI as fast as you did, mate. The way you've been talking about that. I thought you were going to bully Lena. I was like, AI!
Please bully me. I'm here
I think
to be taught
I think everyone has
something
similar views. I don't think anyone's going to be like, I want to move on to AI.
I do like
ASAP.
how, Lena, you mentioned it about like the manipulation and creation. I like that how you use them two words, and also the thing of if someone offered you to sing the song that was written by AI, yeah, I'll use it as a tool, then use the money as a tool to do what I want. I think that was very beautifully said. That I like.
new.
I wasn't expecting you to say that. I thought you'd be like, oh, nah, fuck AI
Fuck
type
AI,
thing. Yeah.
No, I think there is a lot you can do with AI, and I don't think it's all immoral, and there's ways to go about things. I just don't think that we have like the capability as a society to just take it for what it is and use it as good as possible. I think it will be manipulated, and it will be something that probably shouldn't just be accessed by every single 11-year-old.
Yeah, very
I
true.
agree.
So you won't be taking the chip from Elon Musk anytime soon then?
No.
No.
No, I'm alright.
No,
So I
agree.
I'll
think
go drink my herbal teas in the woods.
probably before we end this, it's been quick, hasn't it? It's been
Too
it's
quick.
been nearly an hour
I like
since you've been
chatting with
speaking.
yous.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
been
we don't have to just talk on mic.
yeah,
We can
that's it.
chat
We never
without.
speak again now.
Thank God.
Is there anything we should look forward to coming from you? So is your stage name Lena Holt, or is it under a band?
Nali.
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 Nali. How do you spell that?
N-A-A-L-I.
N-A-A-L-I.
Mm.
Nali. So is there anything exciting coming from Nali that we should look forward to? So maybe by the time this podcast's out, like, there's going to be something released. Are you working on anything?
This entire fucking year. It's gonna
Nice.
be crazy. Now I've had a year of doing my own thing and writing, and this coming year will be full of at least 3 or 4 releases, followed by a release gig, followed by a release tour, followed by an album, and that's the goal.
Wow.
Perfect.
The first gig coming up, I think, will be in December.
Mm-hmm.
With Rockwood, actually. They're
Damn.
doing a Rockwood Unplugged session
Rockwood
at
Unplugged. We should get to it.
Belgrave. It's
100%,
cool,
yeah.
yeah. You get to... It's with audience, so it's pretty sick.
Nice.
I think that'll be a nice little stripped down version, though. Not the full orchestra. But yeah, I'm working on finding new ways to incorporate the things that I like. What you've heard earlier is very... what I thought I wanted to do. And now I want to incorporate a bit more Norwegian folk and a bit more electronics.
Nice.
That'd be cool. That.
I
Ambient
think will we
soundscapes.
see you playing drums on pots and pans anytime soon?
Maybe pots and pans, just not the drums.
I think that would work quite well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do like a bit of a
Just
beat.
incorporate
pan
some.
though.
Yeah.
See ya.
So on that note, Lena, would you like to do our outro music?
Definitely.
You can hit the table. You can do a little
ready?
hum. I'm ready for it.
You ready? Wait, I got a ring.
Wait. Before you go, thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for
talking to
coming, travelling all the way to Sheffield.
Thanks,
Just
guys.
for a
It was
little
long
chat.
and awful, and it smelt badly. But as soon as I got off the couch,
Me and Jordan have been working on some really exciting things as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there's
it's all
some
coming soon.
great things coming from us in the next month or so.
I'd say
Depending on where we put this out or when we put this
yeah,
out.
whenever this comes
Whenever
out.
we
Could
put
be
our
already
finger out, this could already be out.
Yeah.
This conversation might not have even existed. It could have
Irrelevant at this point.
happened a year ago. But who knows?
irrelevant.
So yeah, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
We should hang out sometime, not in front of a podcast.
Yeah, no need to do it with the camera.
We'll come to one of your gigs. Might even come to the
Please.
Rockwood gig.
Definitely will do.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the time for the
That's
camera.
And that's the time of the camera.
horrific
So,
outro music.
anything you want to say?
I'm a bit drunk.